Heavenly Father, we come to you in this hour, asking for your guidance and protection to our virtual gathering today. We thank you for the gift of life, the gift of family, the gift of work, and the gift of friendship. We thank you for this great opportunity to bring us together in this session as brothers and sisters. Bless the committee, the facilitator, and the attendees of this gathering. May we continue to value and appreciate the true essence and meaning of life with the help of your grace. And as we go along to our discussion today, we humbly pray that you would deepen our understanding. Lord, enlighten us and give us wisdom every day. Forgive us for our shortcomings and remind us to always be mindful of the things we do in life. We offer our life and our decisions to you, O Lord. May this gathering today create a memorable experience and a fruitful outcome. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, our upscaling session will focus on My Soul upgrades, and this will focus on designing self-learning journey for SU teachers. So in this particular upskilling session, we have two parts. The first part will showcasing how to design a self-learning journey, and the second part is showcasing the designing self-learning journey using our My Soul, the official learning management system of Silliman. So first, let's do the part one about understanding the self-learning journey to be given by Assistant Professor Alfie Arcelo.
Hello everyone, maayong hapon sa tanan, good afternoon, and welcome to our participants for this afternoon's webinar. So we have Sir Ponciano Ligutom, I think from the graduate school, and then we have Ma'am Yularan as well. Okay, so for this afternoon, this is actually a very nice um, webinar because we will be able to integrate or say combine self-directed learning with our flexible learning tools here in Silliman University. So for this presentation, can we go to the next slide, please? So again, for this presentation, Sir Fredley has already given us the idea that the first two parts that will be with me, we will try to see or to describe what self-learning is and the different terms connected with it. And then we will also try to see how we can integrate self-learning in education, especially in Silliman, with what available flexible learning tools we have. And later on, Sir Fredley will give us a tour on how self-directed learning can be designed in our virtual classrooms, or simply put, how a virtual classroom would look like if it actually is for self-directed learning. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so we start the session with describing self-learning. So if you look at this citation, it actually comes from Sir Malcolm Knowles, and it's from 1975, but it still holds true that in self-learning, um, the learner has the responsibility or takes responsibility, especially on what he needs to learn, the things, the goals that he needs to achieve in that type of learning, as well as the resources for learning. And of course, there's that part wherein have you learned something of about of what you have tried to achieve. So if you have a product or if you have an outcome, you would also evaluate maybe the if it actually exceeds the standards or at least reach the standards for that particular learning or self-directed learning process. And most of us, we actually know of self-learning, as it's popularly known as self-directed learning. We have independent learning, and we have self-driven learning, we have self-education, or self-determined learning. So it's self-determined learning, meaning we are really determined to learn about maybe a topic or a skill on our own. No, so if we want to have like informal experiences of this one, so the the mere thing of googling something when it interests you, it's already part of self-directed learning. Or maybe you'd want to learn a particular instrument, no, maybe for hobby or just for fun, and then you would go into maybe say um, a MOOC, massive open online course. By the way, in MOOC, you could just really see so many things in there, even the simplest of things as tying a shoelace, no? So you could actually look into so many things in there, no? So, or maybe I have known someone in here, right, Sir Jade? He actually learned how to drive using YouTube, no? He self-learned doing it, or looking at videos on how to drive, and eventually practiced on his own. Another one is this is actually something that's trending. So we are into maybe trying to um, we try to change our bedroom as a DIY project. So we find things in maybe in Pinterest, something like that. So self-learning, if you could see it, is not necessarily not just in formal education, but it could actually be something that's informal, no? So meaning meaning you could actually also make use of this one, no, and experiential in nature. So when we have this description, how are we able, especially because how are we able to integrate self-directed learning, especially with the type of learners that we have, with the type of learning environment that we have? Is this still applicable? So let's try to see. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so in here, self-directed learning, we could actually still integrate self-directed learning in formal education. And when we say we have actually activities, no, activities in Silliman University with that has really are that are really anchored into self-directed learning. I remember when I was teaching in senior high school a few years ago, they really have a self-directed learning journal. No? So they have a book, and aside from all the activities that they have in class, they are expected to actually also journal or write the things that they learn on their own, or things that they have independently learned outside of the classroom. No, so they have that kind of activity. And then came the COVID-19 or the pandemic, and classes, or say um, pedagogy or teaching strategies also were updated in such a way that we actually have like asynchronous way of delivering or teaching our students, no? So especially if we are tasked especially like in Silliman University, we are given the responsibility of representing the school maybe in 2 weeks or in a week or maybe in so many things, and then we cannot just let our students be there without having these activities that will help them, especially when we go back to in-person teaching. So we really need to have strategies such as self-directed learning that we can use, especially in our courses and subjects. So teachers have already encouraged self-directed learning through the design of creative assignments, and those creative assignments challenge learners to be more, say, independent and to make choices about their learning. So at other times the learners may need to be self-directed learners because it's diba our earlier our description is the learner takes the responsibility of finding no finding all these things that will really lead him or her to have self-directed learning. And that's expected also because some learners go be above and beyond what is expected, no, mga perfectionists, no. So they would really uh, take the effort of doing such learning activities in some ways that are actually self-directed learning, no. And then the course may be so challenging that the learner develops individual strategies to be successful with it, no. So uh, they are the ones really trying to organize or say yes, manage their own learning journey. So that's self-directed learning. So that's self-directed learning. And self-directed learning, although traditionally associated with independent and informal learning, no, independent learning with our type of um say learning environment and also our learners. um, it's a way of trying to adapt the system through various strategies and methodologies, meaning we could actually do a lot with self-directed learning with us teachers still having the reins, no, even though they are doing self-directed learning, but we still have more of control maybe of the environment of what we can offer them, no. So if you look at the slides, these are some of the things that we can actually make use of, especially in self-directed learning. So first and foremost is what we call project-based learning. So this is very popular, especially here in Siliman, because we most of us adopt or we are into outcomes-based education. So we really have like project-based learning. So in here, um, students have autonomy to make decisions about their learning process, say research, and then presentation of findings, so on and so forth. So maybe in a research-like environment, um, um, in graduate school, no. So this is actually something that self-directed learning can be used, no. And then we have a very familiar term. So I hope um, you have already at least practiced classroom or flip learning or flip classroom, no. Flip classroom is actually part of the university's technology assisted flexible learning teaching strategies, no, the blended learning, hybrid learning. So flipped learning is actually one of them. So in here, how is self-directed learning used? So in here, students learn new content at home through materials like videos or reading them and then engaging in activities. And I have to add that when we actually offer videos, it is important that we don't just let them view the videos. We could make use of what we call interactive videos, wherein in a video, it will just stop at a particular time, ask the question, and then the student has to answer the question correctly before he or she proceeds to the next part of the video. No, so even if it's self-directed learning, there is really that portion where um they are really, say, compelled to really not just be passive with the learning content, but also really understand and comprehend what it's all about, so that the momentum of self-directed learning is always there. So most of the times in flipped classroom, the active learning part, the major activities are done in person. No, so all of those things like reading or maybe viewing pre-recorded lectures are actually done on your own. So that's how self-directed learning is applied. Another one is personalized learning design. No, so we have to this is something that you can use. We have this one. We have a personalized learning designer within MySoul. No, so this will help us create individualized learning plans for students, and then considering their strengths, weaknesses, and interests. Students take responsibility and when it comes to their learning by setting their own goals, choosing the activities, and monitoring the progress. Now, in connection with personalized learning plan, or say personalized learning designer, we have choice boards, or we have say learning activity choices and menus. So most of the times, especially in self-directed learning, we don't just offer one activity. No, we have different types of learners. No, I don't want to do. I don't want to do a video. I want to do research, something like that. So you might want to give different choices. Like for example, um, in a major activity, like for a project, they are given choices, maybe three choices of learning activities, all of which have similar weights when it comes to the activity. No, so they have choices. So which means if I choose this, then I would do it on my own. But of course, no, um, this will help out in um, giving them or being motivated to do that self-directed learning activity, because it's their choice of learning activity. So we could have that one. And then another one is on inquiry based learning, where this encourages students to ask questions, investigate topics, and discover answers through critical thinking and inquiry. So maybe you would actually start an open forum. No, so it could be asynchronous, but the teacher could give the 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 open forum question, and then everyone will have to contribute in the class. So we could actually do that, especially with our learning management system. And of course, the next one is, if this list were actually a checklist, no, or maybe this one is should be checked first, because in a self-directed learning, you will have to make use of a learning management system. And of course, we have been using MySoul as our learning management system. And this, if you have a platform for your self-directed learning, it would be easier for us, because we could do all the things, the designing, no? So so that the self-directed learning journey will smoothly and effectively take place. And number 7 for that one, for on the applications of or integration of self-directed learning, is peer and self-evaluation. So if it's a group activity, we could actually make use of peer evaluation. No, we really have to have peer evaluation, and not just a one size fits all peer evaluation, but as with my experience, I really have to let them evaluate their group mates, no, their group mates individually. If they were tasked to actually do peer evaluation for a performance or maybe an outcome of a particular group, that would also be okay. And if it's actually a single a single activity or individual work, self-assessment is very important. And I have been practicing this until today, no, especially with major projects. I remember I always do this one for image editing projects of mine in education, and a self-assessment. Aside from the fact that they have to showcase their project, they have to rate themselves on how well or how good um, they have done with image editing. So I believe this is also very important that um, this kind of assessments are integrated, especially in self-directed learning. And we have another one, which is gradual release of responsibility. No, maybe some mga college or in graduate school, this might not be the case, but especially for our young learners, we have the tendency to, as teachers, to transfer responsibility for learning from themselves to students. No, they always look up to us as someone who will guide them, as someone who will facilitate them, especially in their learning. Even if they say it's self-directed learning, but they would always want to have someone who could reply to them or respond to them whenever they have concerns. So initially, teachers provide more guidance, especially with formative activities, drills, and all that, and of course the support and also the feedback. And over time, as students they take on like more autonomy and ownership of their own learning, no, so that is how it could actually be also applied in self-directed learning. So you'd say, so we still have control, yes, we still have control, yet the experience that our learners have is still self-directed in nature. And then it's also very important to look into reflection and metacognition, no, so aside from a self-assessment on their work, reflection could be very encouraging to reflect on their learning process, strengths, weaknesses, and maybe strategies for the improvement of their own metacognition, or say the awareness of one's thought processes, no, so it's really more of the reflective side of how were they during the self-directed learning journey, no? And then fostering self-directed learning skills as well, which is very important because self-directed learning skills would really um, develop also those critical thinking skills of theirs, their analysis, all those things. When you do it on your own or when you do it independently, you already develop those kinds of skills, which is very important in learning. And lastly, here we have flexible learning environment. So it goes back again to what the university has offered us. So I hope since 2020 we have been giving these webinars, workshops, trainings for everyone in order for us to be able to maximize the use of our flexible learning tools. No, not just the environment, not just my soul, but actually other things that will really help out, no, really help out in the learning journey of our students, especially in self-directed learning. And in this way, if we implement this, or if we include this one, no, in self-directed learning, it creates flexible learning spaces, of course, because it's self-paced, no, or maybe time bound, but it's really a very flexible time duration. And then schedules allow students also to manage their time and space according to their learning needs. This actually helps us know our skills and how we make use of the flexible learning environment also matter. So in formal education, or say in our SU education, integrating self-directed learning principles empowers our learners, and they become active participants in their education, because sila ang naningkamot to actually accomplish all these things, no? Enhancing their motivation, their critical thinking skills, and of course, the say ability to adapt to diverse learning situations. Okay, so hopefully we already have an idea. If it were a checklist, I hope na ay bisag duha or tulo in self-directed learning integration list. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So for the next slide, I will just be giving you key points in creating self-directed learning activities, especially in my soul, no? So they are actually um they're actually real, no? Actual activities that we have screenshot, or at least we will also um or give you the idea of how it works in my soul. So the first one here is clear learning objectives is equal to clear activity instructions. No, so hopefully we have not just labeled our lessons or our topics, but a new topic should also be coupled with, no? Our learning outcomes for that particular topic should also be presented to our students, especially in self-directed learning, no? Kay kinahanglan gid siya, no? And they for me, learning outcomes shouldn't just be placed in our syllabus or in our learning plans. It has to be presented to our students to make a clear um to make a to make things clear, especially in how in going about with the learning process. And why is it equal to clear activity instructions? Because um it doesn't when we have activities, like for example, I have to leave for Manila for 2 weeks, and then I will have to give my activity to my students for 2 weeks, yet the instructions are just so short and vague, and um we cannot expect our students to actually follow them. Wingon puta nga, how about their critical thinking skills? How would they able to use that one? But it's really more of trying to um, achieve the goal of that particular topic or lesson. So it's really needed that everything is clear, from objectives to instructions and to what is even expected of them, if it's an outcome or an output. So it should actually also be very clear to us now. So maybe we could practice this one in all of our topics, especially the new topics. We should place also our learning outcomes so that our students are sure enough to at least know what is expected of them um, in those um, topics. And then, of course, later on, you will see the one that I have placed in there, the instruction. No? So the instructions might be very long. Would that be okay if it's very long? If it's very, like for example, one big project or one big um, activity has like scaffolding outcomes or outputs, you might want to have these as one output, the second output, or third output. No, meaning the last output is like the completion of the project, something like that. So we could actually make use of that one. We could have a very uh, a very clear set of instructions like that one, no, giving them the hyperlinks to what is needed, and then giving them the instruction very clearly. That is very important, especially because you're not there to actually tell them on what to do. No, they have to be doing it themselves. So it's very important to have number one, especially it's very doable in my soul. And in the slides, we're not even just making use of the assignment feature, we're making use of the forum feature, because most of our students might want, no, or would want to, even if it's self-directed learning, they might want to also have be part of a community of learners, no? And um, the second one is, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so the second key point that I will be giving you is provide the resources, at the same time encourage exploration. So this is what I call, even if it's self-directed learning, it doesn't mean that you don't have to provide the resources. Maybe these resources could just be a start set of resources for them to be able to develop into better resources also that they can find on their own. So we have to have it's also very important, like for example, the usual contents that we have, no, um in a self-directed learning, or say asynchronous type of learning, it is important we have the basics of the pre-recorded lectures or the videos that would really give them sufficient explanation about this particular topic. um it could be in the form of an ebook, no, so we actually have that one. So um it don't be say intimidated, especially if the ebook is too it's too flashy, or say it's so high tech, no, pero we could actually make use of the simple ebook by just placing or organizing our, say, videos in there, or our interactive materials in there. So we have different features in MySoul for that one. So we have here, I think that is an ebook of made use of H5P. So this is what I have been talking about, that in H5P, you don't just let your students or your learners view the the um the video without doing anything, but at some point, because it's an interactive video, at some point it asks questions, and then they have to answer the questions to proceed to the next part of the video, so something like that, no. And then this actually helps them, say, stay focused and understand the purpose behind the task, no. You are guiding them even if you are not there physically, no, to really give them that guidance. And then another one is we have to ensure, no, even if these activities are um it's not actually spoon fed, but even if we have given them the resources, we have to be open as well that these are just starts for starting, no, for starting or startup set of resources. They could have their own, and then they could discover some set of resources on their own. At the same time, let them also explore, no, encourage exploration, encourage them to also discover so many things, not just with a learning activity within my soul, but the learning activity that you'd really want them to do, no, it could be outside of my soul, but you could really we have to place those those activities that would really encourage them to explore, no. And why is it that it's necessary for them to do that? Um, they could actually make use of um, problem solving tasks, no, as I have mentioned earlier, pose open-ended questions, no, for them to be able to do the exploration, no, and be motivated to continue with self-directed learning. Because sometimes, like for example, if you do self-directed learning and you just give them, okay, these are the contents, and then these are the questions, so it's really something that, okay, so what will I do with this one? So I will just answer the questions and that's it. I mean, there are so many questions also in the part of the students if we don't have this kind of activities in our self-directed learning journey. We go to the next one, which is um, promoting we promote collaboration and encourage reflection, no. So how is this, no? It doesn't mean that because it's self-directed learning sila na lang gyud, no. Collaboration could still be part of self-directed learning, in such a way that they could do discussion forums, group projects, no, or peer reviews, no. So they could actually do that one. They have their set of learnings that they have done on their own. It could be shared with a group of learners that they are grouped with, no, in class. So this is very healthy in such a way that um, the self-directed learning is not just something that they have done on their own, but they actually also discovered many things or some things from their peers, no, with what they have done on their own. And collaboration can enhance, say, the learning of our students by exchanging, of course, the ideas, the perspectives. It incorporates opportunities for them to reflect on their own learning. Like for example, lain nga concept ang sa iyahan, mine is a different one. So I would actually be reflecting on my own, no? Is this correct or sakto ba ni siya? Or maybe I could share this one. Okay, so this could be done as well, no? When we have collaboration, there could be we could have our journals, no, on our own individually, reflective essays or discussions. By the way, when we say reflection, it doesn't have to be essays all the time or essay type. We could have like questionnaires, which we have a feature of in my soul. And we could actually also have um tests, not just tests that are graded, but more of um like in our class we have like our ICT competency test, so they would know if they are a newbie or they are an expert or something like that, no. So these are types of self reflections as well. And then the next one will be by the way, no, so that you would have an idea. So and the one in the slides, like for example, groupings for unit 4. So in our learning management system, we have what we call um mandatory groupings done by the teacher, meaning you choose which group this learner has to go to. Or we also have group choice, meaning our learners have the option of choosing their own group. Naa, no? So we could make use of that one. So it's not anymore necessary that we meet for groupings. They could actually do their own groupings in My Soul because we're having self-directed learning. No, so we're not meeting. So you can actually just choose your own groups through My Soul. Okay. And then can we go to the next slide? So my fourth tip, or say key point in creating self-directed learning activities in My Soul, is what we call offering flexibility and use of technology. Yes. So how do we do this? So we allow flexibility in pacing and schedule. So just to give you a background of why those things in the slides. Okay, so what happened here is, especially in our first unit in a course or in a class that I am teaching, the first unit was actually 2 weeks, say 2 weeks or 3 weeks for them, and they had a choice to choose by attending the webinar and doing the activities that were intended after they have attended the webinar, and a choice of enrolling into a module and accomplishing it for 2 to 3 weeks, no. So they have those choices. So it's flexible, no, flexible because, ma'am, I cannot join the webinar because we have like an activity someplace, because during that webinar it was like the Founders Week celebration. So, okay, so you cannot join, so you have another option. So, I am giving you this option that is to enroll in the module. And then flexibility in a sense that we have to make use of these things like reminding them, even if we are not there to remind them again physically. We make use of our PLD. So kanang na ay it's like, hi Alfie, thank you for your dedication to learning. So it's actually something that pops up. No, all you have to do is set it in My Soul. It pops up every time they click that particular activity. No, for example, they um haven't accessed the exam that was supposed to be for this week. Then maybe you would also use that PLD, messaging them that I have noticed that you haven't accessed the exam, reminding you to access it before you can proceed to the next activity. Something like that. No, so there's really something that would give would still give them that um, teacher presence, even if it's virtual. And what about because some students, they just click on the exam right away without even looking at the set of contents, or yes, the things that we have presented to them as part of the learning journey, or the self-directed learning journey. So what we do in My Soul is do restrictions. So we do restrictions, we use technology in doing this. So for example, if the student clicks on the knowledge check or the quiz right away without even going through the ebook, then he or she cannot take the exam, because he or she has to go through like the if they click on the lock icon, they would know that they have missed that particular activity in order for them to be able to do this activity. So there is really something that will um, lead them, or at least guide them when it comes to doing these activities. So it's we have to be realistic when it comes to the flexibility of time, and of course the realistic with the activities that can be done. Is it something that can be done with our learning management system, something that can be done in another platform and can be presented here? So we have to also take that into consideration. The next one is we have to provide guidance and support and clearly communicate assessment and feedback. Now, so who among us do feedbacking in, or do some feedback, especially with our assignments? No, so by the way, when we do assignments, or we check their assignments, or we check their activities, there is a portion in the checking interface wherein you could actually place your feedback, your individualized feedback. Another one is, especially if um you would want to use also technology at the same time, guide them, especially with essay type activities, no, you could make use of Turnitin, so that it could really guide them with the similarity or the plagiarized percentage, or because of the rampant use of generative AI, no, it's not bad to use generative AI, but if it's just copied and pasted, then it will actually also, if we make use of the Turnitin, it will give you, it's not actually plagiarized, but it will also indicate the percentage of AI generation. Meaning, if it's 100% AI generated, so it was really just copied and pasted from an AI platform, no? So it will actually help us out, and then give our students the feedback with this one. Example that I can give you, I am very clear also with them about this. If it's research work, essay type of activities, um, I have already given them that the minimum is, or the maximum when it comes to similarities, is 10%. Beyond 10%, they have to resubmit their work. So something like that, no? And we have to, as I have mentioned earlier, even if we're not there physically to really tell them or provide guidance and support, then we still can be felt, our students can still be felt can still feel that we are there to support them and to guide them in their self-directed learning journey. At least mga reminders lang, mga yun, Ana. And if you look at the slides, I have also placed in there, we have here consultation room. So I actually, it's something that we just make on our own. The titles we make on our own so that it will be something that they could really click on right away if they need guidance, or they need something, they have concerns, no. For the consultation room here, it's a forum, so everyone can see your question, no, everyone can see your question. There are times that students don't post because maulaw sila that others would see their question, but the purpose of the teacher here is that it might be the same concern with other students, so at least you could just answer it in one sitting, no, when it comes to that one. Pero if it's really something that they would need to ask you personally, you could make use of the dialogue feature in My Soul and then chat with your teacher, meaning it's like a one-on-one chat with you, no. You don't have to go to other platforms. I know maybe most of us, especially, we have like, we have a messenger group chat, or maybe we have we have to meet, like for example, we have to have a Zoom meeting in mga 15 minutes lang or 20 minutes so that I could address your concerns. But we could actually have this kind of things. All you have to do is give them your schedule, no. I can only address your concerns during this time. So you could actually do that one, meaning it's all there in your virtual classroom, so they don't have to go elsewhere. No, and another thing that we have observed that not many teachers have been doing this. No, aside from the assignment feedback that we can do individually, we could actually have individual feedback per item in a quiz. We could also have individual feedback um, uh, by grade boundary, meaning like feedback if you have done excellent work, it's a great job, or maybe you could try better next time, something like that. No, aside from the fact that if you do objective type of exams also in My Soul, no, there's no need for them to wait um for um maybe days for you to be able to give them feedback. So right away the scores will be there right away, so that itself is already an automatic feedback for them to do better, to maybe do a reattempt, or be able to proceed to the next activity. So that is how feedbacking, no, is done, especially with self-directed learning. Because self-directed learning, um you it's the self-directed learning portion should be felt by the students, yet your presence or your support should still be felt also by our students. And lastly, what we have here is what you call evaluates and adapts. I know that many of us are still hesitant when it comes to the use of generative AI. But let's before we do that, no, before we tackle of being open-minded with generative AI. So we should regularly evaluate the effectiveness of these self-directed learning activities. No, it doesn't mean that um okay ni siya karon nga sem, so maybe okay ra po ni siya sa next sem. So we have to evaluate, does this still work for my set of learners, this self-directed learning activity? So we have to, it's not anymore working because I cannot upload this type of outputs. So how will I be able to update this, or maybe enhance this kind of activity in a self-directed learning environment? So something like that. And of course, we have to adapt to the changes of the times. No? And what is actually being emphasized, especially in our university, is generative AI or the use of generative AI. Maybe for you, this is a strict no-no for learning activities, but we have to also be open-minded because these things um, actually actually help or support, especially with self-directed learning. So we have here some of the things that we have been using. No, so Turnitin. So Turnitin is something that's generative AI, yet it also benefits us teachers, especially in plagiarism and AI generation of content. Another one is, I believe, we are just portals of us a different say platform, especially in, I think, chemistry and physics have been using Pearson, so it has more learning activities and projects in store, but it they we have integrated, we could integrate this kind of platforms, maybe the access of these platforms through my soul, no. And H5P, no, this has been with us ever since we had My Soul. And there are really a lot of things that we could do that can help us out, especially in self-directed learning with H5P. And then we have here ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is how can we be able to let them use ChatGPT in activities. Like for me, even in this topic that will be showcased by Sir Fredley, making the for our education students, making of rubrics, making of objectives, no, or learning outcomes. Maglisod pa tayo with the necessary or the essential um verbs to use, no, verbs to use. So what we do is we allow them to make use of open AI to actually make use of categories for maybe rubrics or things like that. Learning outcomes generator, there's already a learning outcomes generator. And then we have here DID is actually an app that helps out, not say helps out, but creates what we say deep fake technology. No, so how can we be able to? So maybe not deep fake in a sense that it is something negative. No, because maybe we have the impression that deep fake is always negative. It's always something bad, but it could be used in the learning environment, no, in a different way. No, so in a different way, instead of um you just talking there, but because you didn't have the time to actually do the lectures, but you have all the contents, the text in there, something like a deep fake thing could actually be done, no, by the instructional designer or something that, or someone who assists you with your content, something like that. And then it's also very important that we have to do some evaluation, no, aside from evaluating these activities that we offer to our students. It's also very important that we do evaluation or ask our students to evaluate the learning activities within our virtual classroom or within our class. No, so hopefully, if we have done it manually before, that's already a good practice. We could actually do that one in MySoul as well, doing our evaluation with our students. Okay, so I think that's it for me. I know that you are excited on how it would look like in a learning management system. So I will give the floor now to Sir Fred Lee so that he can tour you or navigate you through a classroom that is actually made or say um, created for a self-directed learning journey. So, Sir Fred?
Thank you, Ma'am Alf, for the detailed concepts and strategies of designing self-learning journey. So before we will start, I will just share my screen first. In this part, this is the part 2. It's basically showcasing showcasing the concept of self-learning journey as what part 1 said. So here we will just simply focus the sample virtual classroom that we created during our specifically during our upscaling sessions or from the previous upscaling sessions. So I enrolled you in this virtual classroom as a student. Okay, so I will just make it bigger so that you can see it clearly. So we have here a sample virtual classroom, digital skills for post-pandemic learning, rubrics generator, and gamification tools. So this will be our sample uh, self-directed learning journey. So here, I switch role as a student. So this is the view of the student when they open this particular virtual classroom. So this will summarize all the concepts and strategies discussed earlier. So for instance, I will click this particular virtual classroom. So this particular strategy is what we call the personalized learning designer. So basically, it allows academics to create basic personalized automation in their courses. So such as displaying pop-up message or sending an email to their students or learners. So in this part, so this is the welcome message from my course. So I have here, this is personalized. So we have the welcome message for this particular course. And then we have also the student name. So we just personalize it by just giving or making use of the personalized learning designer in our MySoul platform. So by the way, this particular showcasing of the features of MySoul is also an avenue of promoting departmental upscaling sessions we offer in our office. So according to your respective departmental needs. So all you need to do is just basically simply email soul@su.edu.ph or simply call us at 418 or 417. So it's like a sort of advertisement if you need our assistance in making these particular features in your learning journey. So again, this is the what we call the PLD. So once I click the virtual classroom, then automatically there's a pop-up message of your course. So I will just simply close it. Okay. And then this is I will just give a short demonstration about the parts of our virtual classroom. In the right side, in the left side, we can see that this is our topics or sections. So you can also search that particular topic. So for example, if you want to search, like example, is there an assignment in this particular course? No. So example, forum. So these are the available forums in this particular topics. So you can also make use of this search bar. And then here is the contents pertaining to the topics. At the left side, these are the topics or the sections. If you click that particular section, so for example, this is an introduction section, we can see that this in the center part, so this is called the course page. So here, down to the last part, so this pertains to the course page. And that course page composed of activities and resources in our MySoul. So every topics or sections has its own different course page. So for example, in introduction, so in introduction, I give a short of image. So I just simply copy that particular image or upload this particular image in this description. So this is the topic or section title, and this is the description. In my case, so I use the image in creating the description of that section. And then proceed with the content of the course page. So I have a welcome message. This is in open forum format. So I have the welcome message from this particular group of learners in my course. And then I have here, since this is self-directed learning, so I have a consultation room if they have questions or clarifications. Once they click this particular consultation room, this is in forum activity. So once they click this one, there is a PLD, okay, personalized learning designer, or a pop-up message. So that says hi, blank. So it's basically the name of that particular students. And then if you have questions or technical problems that you wish to consult, feel free to post them here. So this is the PLD in the consultation room and consultation room activity. So all they need to do is just simply add a discussion topic. So for instance, this is the subject. Okay, so you have, of course, the title, if you have the questions, and then you have the content, and then you just click post to forum. Okay, so that's it. And then you have 30 minutes to edit. And then here you go to the about the module. In this particular part, you have this as what Ma'am Alfie said, it's like an ebook, but this is in a book structure resource in our MySoul. So all they need to do is just click this this book format or ebook. So this is the ebook title, and then they just simply navigate this particular part, and then the last part, and then there is also a PLD. So this is a PLD. Again, this is somewhat, the PLD is a short of the online presence or automation of the messages or personalized automation of the particular message. So in this part, I just simply close it, and then I will go back to the home page. So this is the sample output, okay? And then here, I have lesson, first lesson. So the first lesson, again, you can incorporate plain text or an image of your learning outcomes. And then here, I just give a short description of it. So as a starter, you need to have this one, a brief instructions that will lead to your resource. So in this part, as you take a look, this is an ebook structure in H5P, but you can also use the simple ebook structure in a book format in resource. So here I use H5P to do this one, to have an interactive book. So if I click this particular ebook, so I have a pop-up window that personalized that specific learner. And then here, all they need to do is just simply read this interactive book. So I have here 1, 2, 3, and then if done, then I will proceed to the home page. So for instance here, I already viewed this particular ebook, and then it will lead next to the activity. So again, you give a brief description of it, and then it will lead to you to the activity. So this is another type of activity. This is in glossary. So the learners will just simply click this one. So for instance, the instruction is what concepts, old and new, were discussed in the ebook by that particular institution. So list down these terms and the definition and encode them in the class glossary of terms. So all you need to do is just simply click this one. And this is an activity in MySoul. So it utilizing the glossary activity. So all they need to do is just simply click. As you notice, in every activities we have here, we have the conditions. So we have already view it, and then the next thing we do is we should make an entry. So example, I click this one, and then the concept is that a rubric, that's the term, and then I give a definition of what is rubric. So example, sample content. And then you just simply click save changes. So once you click it, so there is a PLD again that you are submitting that work, okay? So if you close this one, so you have this a particular response in that particular activity. So you already done the viewing part, and then as well as making an entry. So that's the requirement to complete this particular activity. If you go to your home page, you can see that we are in the lesson 1. We can see that we have a circle with check mark or green check mark. So this means that you completed that particular activity. So another part is showing another resource. Again, you just give a brief description of that resource, and then that will lead them to opening your resource. Not simply directly giving that particular ebook or particular file, but you at least give the brief description of that particular ebook or file. And then you just simply click this one. This is another ebook using H5P. So we have again another PLD. Again, this is for giving an online presence of our teacher. This is automated, okay? Personalized learning designer. And then here we have an interactive book. So once they click this particular icon, so stands for the information. So once they click this one, then they will see that particular resource or file. So example, if they will click this one, another file will open or video will open. So again, this is in H5P. Okay. So in that part, if you would like to, again, this is an avenue for us to promote our departmental upscaling session. If you would like to have a departmentalized upskilling session that is intended for developing and producing an interactive video, then you can simply email us, soul@su.edu.ph, or simply call us in our office so that we can help you assist in your teaching and learning. And then after that, then you will get a circle with check mark. So if you see this one, so this is the progress tracker or the walks of your learner. So example, this is progress 3 of 3. So which means that your learners already view this particular ebook and then already answer this particular activity and then view. So in that case, you have the markings as progress 3 over 3. Okay. So next is you have, for example, you have a quiz or an assessment. So you click the knowledge check one. And then in here, so you have a brief description of this particular section. And then you have this particular quiz. So example here, this is the quiz. And then you have a PLD again that will lead them or give them a guide in taking this particular quiz. And then here, these are your things to do in order to make this particular activity completed. So you need to receive a grade, and then you have a passing grade requirement. So here you have here this is the automation. So the highest grade, so your attempts allowed is 3, and then you have the grading method is highest grade will be recorded, and then grade to pass is 5. So you set up this one. Then all they need to do is just simply attempt the quiz. For instance, here I will just answer this particular activity. So for instance here, let's say finish the attempt and then submit all unfinished and then submit. So here click and then it will now give you the score. So you have the feedback is you have received a failing grade, so you need to reattempt. Okay, so here we have the knowledge check and then we have the exercise 1. So again, this is another forum part. So all they need to do is just basically upload their work here. So for instance, I've done the viewing part, so I will make up one post. And then for instance here, the title, and then we have the content. And then for example, this is my content already, so I will just post to forum. And then there is also a PLD, okay? So again, we are here in the self-directed learning. So we have a message coming from the PLD or personalized learning designer coming from our teacher. So this is a predefined message that we will use the personalized learning designer. So and then it will redirect to another resource. So in that case, you can proceed automatically in here. You just simply view this particular ebook. So this is basically the basic format of ebook. We will use the book format in the resources. So for instance here, we already done with this one. And then we can see that we have a check mark. And then here, so we'll just simply scan this we'll just browse this particular resource. And then so that we can proceed, okay? So for instance here, this is basically what I said earlier, that if you want to request us in the office about developing and producing an interactive video, education interactive video, this is the concept. So for instance, this is your pre-recorded video, and then we have we insert some test questions on it. So example, this is 19 video part. So for instance here, for example,
The history, where you can see the tasks you've done during editing. The export is used for your final video output, and jobs, where you can see the status of your exporting.
so we have a quick question. So we can also add interaction to our video. So if we click this one, then your learners will just simply answer this particular question. So example, if that's true, and then you check it, so you proceed to the next.
When you open
So this is making an educational interactive video. So we can also help you with that. So basically, we are just showcasing you some of the features in MySoul that we can integrate in our teaching and learning. And then we have here, as you take a look in the exercise 2, since you already enrolled in this particular virtual classroom, so you can explore the virtual classroom structure in itself. So in here in exercise 2, you need, in order to open this particular section or topic, you need to answer the knowledge check, okay, or the quiz part. So for example, I will just click the quiz knowledge check 2, and then I have here a PLD reminder, and then I will attempt the quiz, for instance. Okay. So in this part, I will just finish this attempt. Okay. So I will just go directly to the exercise 2. If I can see, I can open now. Okay, I can open now the activity. So for instance, in here, you can lock this particular section if they did not comply with the previous requirement. So you can lock this particular topic or sections. And then example in here, so I will just simply add my title, and then I have my content, and then I will just simply post to forum, and then we have another PLD, and then it will lead to the new another PLD, and then it will lead to the performance task. So here, this is a simple structure in making use of your virtual classroom in our MySoul. So again, it's up to you if you would like to have the lesson, the topic lesson 1, for instance, lesson 1 rubrics generator, you just simply integrate, you just simply merge the quizzes and exercises in that particular section. So it's up to you, but as long as you have clear instructions to your learners. And in providing a self-directed learning, you should have a brief description on every activities or tasks of your learners to guide them throughout their learning journey in that particular lesson. So I guess that's it. So if you have questions or clarifications for this part, so you can use the Zoom chat box. You can use the Zoom chat box if you have questions or clarifications. Questions or clarifications. Again, this is basically showcasing to you what a self-directed learning journey looks like. So you have a detailed instructions of regarding the activities or resources that displays in each topics, and then you also have okay. So let's see in the chat box. Okay. Okay. So at this, okay, thank you, Dr. Ferdinand Mangidin, and then to Sir Arvin. So at this point, okay, Mama Alfie.
So we also thank Dr. Torres for recognizing or giving us the recognition also for the effort. Yes, we really would want to help out or reach out to other teachers so that we can really maximize the use. There are so many things that we can use or features of MySoul that that's very useful to us, even if we are we're talking here of self-directed learning. Um, I know you must have classes that have experienced self-directed learning, especially when we're out of town or something like that. We could actually design our own lessons, no? Mga lessons lang. We could start with that one. And um, another thing is, other than for self-directed learning, these features in MySoul can also be used in our um, daily learning activities. No, so if we're doing blended learning, I know everyone is doing blended learning because we're doing or we're meeting our classes in person, but there are still so many things that we could do again with features in MySoul. So I think there are no more questions. There are no questions. Um, if you happen to have questions, maybe after this session, then you could always email us at Sir Fredly.
Okay. Again, Sir Arvin or Prof. Arvin, this particular upskilling session is recorded, so we will just upload it, in our training faculty training room, as well as we would like to encourage in your department. Again, in our office, in the Global Studies Center, we offer upscaling session intended for departmental needs. So for instance, the showcase earlier is some example of MySoul features that we can integrate in your teaching and learning, as well as your virtual office or your virtual classroom. So you can integrate that one. So all you need to do is just basically email us in soul@su.edu.ph or simply call us, and then we will just uh, go in your department, or you can schedule in our department. So basically, Mariano Lau. So you just simply email us, and then we just assist you with your faculty or staff. And then, Ma'am Alfie, do you have something to add? Or
Let me also add that maybe because you'd want to have that kind of Wala mo nga. I would want to have that kind of virtual classroom, no? So we could actually, if you'd want to have us or say training, no training, we could like specifically for a particular um college or department, then we could also visit you, and then might as well as I know that many of you are already familiar with the features in my soul, so we could guide you, no, we could guide you in making those things, no. So all we have to do is have our own content, and then we could help you out, especially in the making or at least in the organization. So so that we could also our efforts will also be at least be used in one time, no. We could have it per group. So I think Dr. Mangibin is raising his hand. So Sir Ferdy.
Hi, thank you, Ma'am Alfie, Sir
Yes, sir.
Freddy. I just would like to ask now, the one that you have shown, would it be possible that you have a template classroom like that, or is everything will be personalized? I mean, it depends on the faculty who will be using the platform.
Yes, sir, we could actually have a template classroom. So,
Okay.
when we, like, for example, we receive or we have a virtual classroom every semester, no? So that's
Mm-hmm.
actually a template classroom. We could have
Okay.
another one. We could have another one that's similar to what Sir Fredly has shown, no?
Mm-hmm.
Just a template classroom, but of course, it's say it's say empty, or we could, if you'd want to request a classroom like that with you as a teacher, we could also accommodate that. Pwede, no? Like, I would want to have a classroom, a practice virtual classroom with that kind of
Mhm.
interface. Pwede
Yeah.
siya, sir. So, we could also we could also accept requests like that and
Yes.
maybe help you out with the
Yes, this is
organization.
good. This is good, ma'am, because I have we have part-time faculty that I would like really to have to be trained and to see the sample, the template, because these are new part-time faculty, so they are not really that familiar. In fact, I keep telling them and sending all those messages coming from your department,
Yes.
but I have not seen them attending yet. But anyway, sige lang, na maybe they need more time to practice. Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
po.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir Fredly?
So at this part, so I would like to show to you on how to get your certificate of attendance. Okay, I will just show my screen first. Okay. So in getting your certificate of attendance, all you need to do is just I will just make it bigger. Okay. So you just simply click the faculty training room, virtual classroom. And then again, for the upskilling recorded videos, you can see that in this particular section or topic. So you can, this is arranged or organized by theme, so generative artificial intelligence. And then we have the My Soul upgrades, and then we have responsible use of technology. And then to download your certificate of attendance, all you need to do is just simply click this downloads certificates. All your certificates or e-certificates are displayed in this particular virtual classroom, the faculty training room. So you have, in order to get your certificate of attendance, you need to answer this questionnaire, survey questionnaire, and then you can now claim your custom certificate by just simply clicking uh, this particular link. So as of this moment, you are enrolled. You are officially enrolled with that particular sample virtual classroom as I show you earlier. It's basically showcasing that particular self-directed learning journey. And then you have enrolled in this particular training. So this is upskill PM session is 11/22 to 2023. So you are in group in this particular questionnaire. So all you need to do is just simply answer this survey questionnaire and then you can get your certificate of attendance. Questions or clarifications? Okay. So again, if you have question, you just simply email us soul@su.edu.ph. So at this point, we will have the photo opportunity. Okay, photo opportunity. So I will just remove the spotlight first so that, okay, we are in gallery mode. So if your video allows you, kindly turn on the video part. Yes, yes, Sir Arvin. Okay. Yes, all you need to do is just simply give us an email and then we will just respond to that. Thank you. So at this point, so we have the photo opportunity and then Sir Ras. Can you take a photo for us or Ma'am Haya? Okay, photo opportunity.
Okay, everyone, give us your best smile. Wait, let me turn on the camera. I'm sorry. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And see you on the next upscaling session.